I want to thank you, Carl, for submitting such an interesting question and such a tough one. Heartache is something that's as universal as perhaps any feeling that can be described. Just about every one of us has experienced heartache at some point in our lives, and it is very painful. The reason it's so universal is because it's linked to childhood, and we've all been children, and so we all experience this pain because it goes back to a very early time in our lives, back before we had words. What heartache is, and the reason it's so painful, is that it's a child's feeling that it's going to die because it's been abandoned. The feeling that you cannot survive without care, and that care is missing or is being denied to you. And that's why heartache hurts so badly. Now, why is it that heartache takes us back, regresses us to this very early childhood period? And why does it feel the way it does? Our first love, everyone's first love, comes as a child, and it's the love for a parent. The love for a parent is a child's love. It's different from an adult love because it says, in essence, I want to merge with you. I need you so profoundly that I cannot survive without you. A parent is everything to a child, especially a young child. You know, in the early years, essentially, you would die if the parent were away. So at some point, if the parent is away and the child feels abandonment, even if it's just left in a crib as an infant, the pain will be such that, lacking words, it will be somatized in the body. And that's why you feel such a terrible pain with heartache. You feel this primal, it's been described as a cellular pain, a pain at the cellular level. It feels as if your body is coming apart at the seams. That's a child's panic at abandonment. Now, that first love of our life, that love of our parents, is sort of doomed in a sense, in that it has to be resolved. A parent cannot be perfect, cannot be everything. A child needs a parent to be everything, but there's a contradiction built in because a parent is just a person. And a child has to grow up and make a separation into adulthood. So that can go a lot of different ways, as many different ways as there are human lives, you know. Sometimes it ends badly, and the parent and the child, you know, have a poor relationship, or there's hurt or a sense of betrayal or abandonment. Other times, you know, it's a more gentle transition into adolescence. We all go through our own passage in making that separation into adulthood. But what's sort of universal here, very nearly universal, is that we all go into love, our first love, with the model of that child's love. And so we go out into the world looking for someone to be everything to us the way a parent was. And of course, no one can be everything to us except ourselves. And so we're setting ourselves up for disappointment. We're going out into the world looking for a merger, for someone who can absolutely care for us, take care of us, make us feel safe. And when that doesn't happen, when the other person is just a partner, just another person who wants to walk a path of life with you towards a mutual goal, which is really what a partnership is. And maybe that doesn't work out, and maybe you break up. If you're looking for a merger, if you're looking for a parent who can make everything whole, who can take everything in you that's broken and fix it, you're going to be disappointed. And so it's going to trigger anxiety. You're going to feel like you are an abandoned child, like the person that you love, the person who could help you to survive, has abandoned you. And that's what triggers heartache. Now, because heartache regresses you to this very early child, a child who lacked words, you're going to feel the pain in your body. You're going to somatize it. There's that cellular agony. And it's a physical pain, and it's very, very difficult. And it is triggered by an anxiety. You're absolutely right, Carl. And you asked me, what is loneliness? Well, loneliness for an adult is really not a big deal. If an adult is lonely, he's perfectly capable of going out into the world and building a support system of friends, meeting people and getting the friends and people and acquaintances that he needs in his life to give him company, because he's intact in himself. But this is the key issue here, is that an adult loves himself, parents himself, gives himself that stability, those deep roots in the ground like a strong tree that makes him okay all by himself. You know, if a relationship doesn't work out, there's no heartache. There's simply a sadness, a mourning for the loss of a relationship, and an excitement to move on to something new. But if you haven't made that transition, and you're still loving like a child, and you're still looking to be healed, to be merged into another person and parented by that person, and a dependency forms on that other person, then if that other person decides, well, this isn't working for me, and walks away from the relationship, that's what triggers that heartache. So the answer for heartache really is to understand that you must love yourself before anyone, can enter a relationship with you. Because a relationship, an adult relationship, is two whole people, two adults, not a child searching for the love that he misses from a parent.